We're looking at the trace panel in Silhouette Studio V5 today so that you can take images, apply cut lines to them, and add them to your many designs. Hi, I'm Brenda Lambert. I'm a TJC licensed instructor for Silhouette. You've found your way to Silhouette Success, and I do hope that you're going to join our little community. I do have other videos on the trace panel in Silhouette Studio V4, so if you are still using V4, you can go back and check those out as well. A lot of the information is the same, some of the icons have changed, and some of the placement of the features have changed. It all works the same, so let's get started. Today we are going to look at the trace panel in Silhouette Studio V5. The icon looks like a butterfly. In V4, it was debatable as to whether it was a piece of toast or a butterfly, but now you can see that it is definitely a butterfly. Let's click on that and open up the panel. You'll see at the top I have 3 different tabs here to choose from. If you are running Basic Edition, you will only have this first tab. The other 2 tabs come in with the upgrade to Designer Edition or higher. The trace feature is used to turn a raster image into a vector file. A raster image is created of pixels, little bits and pieces smushed together to make the image. A vector file is made up of different lines and points. It's scalable and you can use it to cut. This is a raster image. In order to generate our cut lines, we can click on Select Trace Area, and our cursor turns into a crosshair. We can hold down the button on our mouse and drag that box out, and you can see that all of those black lines have lit up in yellow. It is good to know that the darker colors, like black, trace better. Black traces first, then the lighter colors start to fill in. White will not trace. Looking at this image here, it looks like there might be some breaks in the outline, but if we zoom in, you can see that the lines are quite solid. Everything is lit up in yellow, and that's exactly what we need here. Let's fit this back to the window, and I'm going to click on Trace. When we move the original image away, we are left with just the cut lines. Let's fill these in with color. Select the image, select your color, and you can change the line color as well. And when we head over to the send page, all of these lines are lit up in red, which means this will now cut out for us. Let's click back. This time I'm going to choose Trace Outer Edge. When we pull the image away, you can see that it is just outlined the image and none of the inside details are traced. This is helpful if you want to make stickers or any type of print and cut. Trace and detach is useful for print and cut if you are working with a JPEG that has a background. It would trace this and then remove it away from the background, but since this one does not have a background, that's not very helpful for us today. Let's use the trace feature. Drag the original away. I'm going to fill this in with color again, and this time I'm going to duplicate. I can release the compound path on this now, and I need to zoom in, but we're going to grab the very back layer on this and pull it away so we know we have the right part. Now all of these pieces have been separated from the background. We can select the background, change it up to a different color. Let's send this to the back, and we can set that right behind our first layer and make a 2-layer decal out of this. If you want to add more variation to your color, you'll need to go through and select different pieces of this leftover part. You can click and hold down your Shift key to select different pieces. It's easier to grab if you're zoomed in, and when there are this many pieces, it does take a little bit of patience to make sure you grab them all. I'm not going to go through the entire process, but if we select some and switch those to pink, you can see how you can switch different parts up to different colors. Now, if we set the background to black, let's send this to the back. When we pull that in, you can see how the flower petals are going to be lit up in whatever color you chose, but the lines will still be in black. And that just demonstrates 3 different ways that you can use the trace panel to make different designs within Silhouette Studio. Next, we're going to work with this PNG. It is very colorful. We can click on Select Trace Area and draw our box out. And you can see right away that the darkest colors traced first. And you can bump up the threshold here to get more of the design to come through. And if you use this to trace, it's just going to cut out all of the outer edge. And again, this would be good for making stickers, but it's not going to allow you to cut any of the details out. Let's look at some of the advanced options while we're here. You have high pass, which starts the trace from the inside of your design and works its way out to the edges. Low pass, which does the exact opposite. Low pass is going to start tracing from the outside edges and go in. The higher you bring your low pass, the further it's going to go away from the edge. Now we have scale. Let's zoom in for this one. You can see the edges are very pixelated with this trace. If I bring the scale up, it's actually going to become more pixelated and it's going to drop spots. If we bring it down, the edges are less pixelated and much smoother. Underneath that, you have your trace quality, and it's somewhat difficult to see the difference on the screen, but this slider is to balance out the quality of the trace with the capabilities of your computer. If your computer and the program seems to be lagging while you trace, you're going to want to bring the slider down until your computer can keep up with the work that you want it to do. We have a solid fill here, which I do have selected, and it's showing everything that it's picking up. Or we can click on outline, and it just outlines the area that it's going to trace instead of filling it in. Now, all of these different features can come in quite handy, but most of the time you are just going to be adjusting your threshold. I definitely recommend that you click on the advanced button and give these different options a try just to see what they do when you use them. Now I'm going to move over to the second tab on this panel, and that is Trace by Color. You can see that there is a lot of color in this design. Let's click on this button with the eyedropper and choose a color. I'm going to go with this pink right here so we can trace this flower. Now on this panel, you only have the tolerance slider, and as you pull the slider up, more and more of that color fills in. I got to this point and it started picking up something outside of the flower, so I'm going to back it down using the arrow key, and I think that's about as good as I'm going to get it. Now I'm going to use my trace and detach feature, and I can pull just this flower away. Now, if I had duplicated this before I started like I should have, I would have been able to take this flower and just set it down around and add more detail to this design. And it's going to match perfectly because it came from the same design. Let's click back until it's solid again. Close this out. Select our image, duplicate it, and set it to the side here. Let's get rid of this one. We don't need it anymore. Okay, now I have my original. We can go back through and trace this flower. Click on Trace and Detach. You want to be aware as well, once you click Trace and Detach, the rest of your pieces are going to be separate. It ungroups everything. So let's select the pieces, right click, and group that together so we can move this one out of the way. You can bring this one on. You can see that you can just take this extra flower and set it wherever you like. You can duplicate it, flip it around, and just add a little something extra to the original design. Now I'm going to duplicate this one more time, set this copy off to the side, and we're going to take a look at magnetic trace. I find the magnetic trace amazing and complicated all at the same time. It does take a little bit of patience to use, but it is a lot of fun as well. It says start magnetic trace and then click on a point to begin. You just want to click and let up on your button. The green trace line will follow borders it finds within the magnet circle. Click and drag to create straight lines over problem areas of your image. And this is probably my favorite part. Right click to rewind your magnetic line. Let's take a look. We'll click on magnet trace. I'm going to zoom in first on that same pink flower. Let's click magnet trace, and you can see that I have a circle with a circle inside, and my cursor is now a crosshair, and it kind of clicks to the edge of the design. Once it clicks in place, you can click on the button on your mouse and then just start dragging along the edge of the design, and you can see that it follows along pretty well. Now it's a little bit tough to see, but down in between the two petals, it kind of skipped a spot. Now I'm going to hold down the right button on my mouse, and you can see that that line rewinds. My cursor snaps back to the end of the line. Now I'm going to hold down the left button and draw that out so that it will complete that trace in between the two petals. Now I can lift up. I'm going to hold down on my left button again and pull that out a little bit so that it's outside of that dip. Left click and release and go around the flower and finish up. So again, this is somewhat complicated and it's not perfect, but it is fun and it is useful for complicated traces. Now, as soon as you get around to the start of your trace, it kind of snaps together and finishes the trace. At this point, I am going to use trace and detach again. And I'm going to pull this flower away. You can see it only left a little bit of color behind, but I don't really like the bottom edge here and how that turned out. Now we can double click to bring up the editing points, and we can adjust this bottom part. I'm going to zoom in one more time on these because there's a whole cluster here. I'm going to choose the editing points that I do not want, and I can click on the backspace button and it will delete the extra points. Now that is almost perfect. There's only a little green showing. I'm going to use the blue squares on the other editing points just to tidy it up a little bit. I can delete this editing point. That went up into the flower. And I can use this square to find the edge of the flower. Looks like it's right about there. And I can pull this point out until I find the edge as well. When you use the trace feature, there are probably going to be a lot of editing points. We can resolve this by double clicking on our image and then clicking on simplify. You can see that reduces the number of editing points greatly. You're going to get a much better cut from your traced image. Now let's go over to the send page. And you can see that this is nicely traced and ready to go. We can do a print and cut with this flower, and we can, again, duplicate and add to an existing design, or we can use it all on our own. The possibilities really are endless. You do want to play around in the trace panel and get a feel for it. It's a little bit of a skill, but you can do it. And you should totally head over to the Facebook group so you can post your work. Now go create something amazing, and I'll see you in the next video.